Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So guys, in this video I'm gonna make a comparison between PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5. Let's go and let's find out. The PlayStation 5 is quickly approaching, and although it may not be the world's fastest console, it is a significant upgrade over the PlayStation 4 with a whole new architecture, superior resolution support, and fast storage thanks to the SSD. The PlayStation 5 is better than the PlayStation 4 in almost every way. Thanks to the recent PlayStation 5 reveal, which show off the games to expect from the system, we now know much more than before. There is a lot to talk about here, so let's waste no time in comparing. So guys, before starting the video, hit the like button, consider subscribing my channel and turn on the post notification bell so you will be alerted when I make a new upload. PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5 specs. Even a small glance at the specs of the PlayStation 5 shows that it is in a different luggage than the PlayStation 4. And even the PlayStation 5 Pro, Sony have improved the capability of its platform in every way, adding more efficient storage, faster computing parts, support for the large capacity disks, and support for higher resolution. CPU in PlayStation 5, 8 core 16 threads up to 3.5 GHz variable frequency. In PlayStation 4, 8 Jaguar Core 1.6 GHz. In PlayStation 4 Pro, 8 Jaguar Core 2.1 GHz. In order to GPU, 36 CUS at 2.23 GHz 10.3 teraflops variable frequency. In PlayStation 5. In PlayStation 4, 18 CUS at 800 MHz 1.84 teraflops. 36 CUS at 911 MHz 4.2 teraflops in PlayStation 4 Pro. Memory in PlayStation 5 16 GB GDDR6 RAM. In PlayStation 4 8 GB GDDR5 RAM. In PlayStation 4 Pro 8 GB GDDR5 RAM. In order to internal storage, the PlayStation 5 custom 825 GB SSD. In PlayStation 4 500 GB 1 TB hard drive. In PlayStation 4 1 TB hard drive. External storage in PlayStation 5 NVMe SSD slot, USB hard drive. In PlayStation 4 2.5-inch HDD USB hard drive. PlayStation 4 Pro 2.5-inch hard drive USB hard drive. And optical drive in PlayStation 5 Ultra HD Blu-ray. In PlayStation 4 only Blu-ray, and in PlayStation 4 Pro also Blu-ray. In video output, the PlayStation 5 is 4K at 120Hz 8K. In PlayStation 4 180p. We will get into the specifics of the most of these specs as we will go throughout this comparison. As a journal note, through its importance to consider the context of these specs. The PlayStation 5 is much newer console, built on a different architecture, and because of that some of the specs does not be directly compared. For instance, the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 Pro have the same number of computing units, CU, but the PlayStation 5 CUs have a much higher transistor density, making them more powerful than the PlayStation 4 CUs. That said, other specs can be directly compared. The PlayStation 5 has a better optical drive and resolution support. The PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5 graphics. The PlayStation 4 and 5 are both based on custom AMD chips. Through the latter packs a lot more of a punch, Sony is boasting twice the number of CUS on the PlayStation 5, as well as significantly higher clock speed. However, the biggest difference between two comes in the ever important TIFF. TIFF is a hot term for the console developers, and for a good reason. Although TIFF aren't historically indicative of performance, it is a solid number to refer to when making comparison. The PlayStation 4 with its 18 CUS running at 800 MHz clock in at 1.84 TIFF, meaning it can handle 1.84 trillion floating point operations per second. By contrast, the PlayStation 5's GPU is rated for 10. Referring to the single number, the PlayStation 5's GPU is 8 times more powerful than the PlayStation 4 and 2.5 times more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro. Sony is able to achieve such higher performance because of the PlayStation 5's 36 CUS and higher clock speed over the PlayStation 4 and 5's core run at 2.23 GHz with a variable. The higher clock speed is expected, but we are more interested in variable frequency. Speed is kept at 2.23 GHz. Through it will be lowered based on what is required of the GPU. Locked at 800 MHz, the PlayStation power based on the workload to mend the clock speed. More demanding games require more power, but the speed is always for the next generation. Power is the constant and speed is the variable. In the PlayStation 5 technical reveal system, they explained why this was the case. Starting that a graphic core with 36 CUS runs at 1 GHz would produce the same number of TIFF as a 48 CU core running at 750 MHz. 4.6 TIFF. The general idea is that higher clock speed is better, not more CUS, as the extra slower units would not have enough computing work to pull their weight. By allowing variable frequency, the PlayStation 5's GPU can achieve much higher clock speeds than expected so long as the higher frequency can be supported by the systems. So far we have compared PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5 graphics on raw number, but that does not take into account that latter system more modern architecture. Each of the PlayStation CUS has roughly 60% more transistors as compared to PlayStation 4 CU. As Cerny pointed out in his presentation, that means that 36 CUS of the PlayStation 5 equal the same performance as the 58 PlayStation. In short, the graphical capabilities of PlayStation 5 are massively more impressive than the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 5 GPU will have more cores, and those cores will be faster and more efficient. PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5 resolution. The PlayStation 5 increased graphical fidelity to push games to resolution never seen before. For output, the PlayStation 5 supports 4K at 120Hz and 8K, both with variable refresh rate as demanded by HDMI 2.1. By constant, the base PlayStation 4 can output at 1080p, often decreased resolutions in game. Sony include an HDMI 2.1 output is very forward thinking, even if most TVs do not include an HDMI 2.1 port. Quite yet, the new standards support higher resolution and frame rates, but those upper limits won't matter for years. More important is gaming. HDMI 2.1 supports variable refresh rate. Going into the next console generation, we suspect resolution will be a key marketing point, as Microsoft and Sony has already pushed that their consoles are capable of 8K resolution. Although this is true and exactly even, that does not necessarily mean you will playing games at 8K. Display will likely become more common towards the end of the PlayStation 5 cycle. For now, the focus is on 4K. The big deal with the PlayStation 5 is support for 120Hz display, as there is already a few set of TVs and monitors that support 4K and higher refreshing rates. GPU has the horsepower to push the 60 frames per second and above. You should be able to take advantage of high refresh rate TV with the PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5 price. With the massively improved specs and new features, the PlayStation 5 will be more expensive than the PlayStation 4, as for a good reason. However, we are of the mind that Sony learned its lesson with the PlayStation 3's massive price tag and built the PlayStation 5 with the price tag in mind. Sony of course haven't announced the price of either PlayStation 5 system. There are two sources pointing towards the PlayStation 5 price point. They are claiming to be $500. We did however find out there will be no one but two different systems available: the regular PlayStation 5 and an all digital version. The two will likely be vastly different in price, with the digital version coming in at a less expensive. So guys, that is gonna be it for this video. There will be two parts for this video. Stay tuned for that. I will catch you in next one. Peace.